And Faith Time is our weekly conversation on matters of faith. And joining us this morning is Robert Lutz, the founder of Transformation Ministries, formerly of Shiloh Baptist Church in Saraland. But tell us about this new venture.
Yes, Chad, thank you for having me here today, and just always a joy to be with you. Transformation Ministries comes out of a need I saw a few years ago for intentional discipleship, helping people grow in their faith, becoming more like Jesus Christ.
So let's talk about discipleship. How do you define it?
Discipleship is the process in which we become more like Christ, but imitate Him. Just as Christ did it with His disciples back in the days of the New Testament, that's what discipleship should look like.
So in Scripture, they read about Jesus had disciples, John the Baptist had disciples. How do you become a disciple?
Great question. When Jesus, when back in the New Testament times, people would want to be a disciple, they would study massive amount of the Old Testament, memorizing large portions and all that. And when they would want to be a disciple, they'd go to a rabbi, a teacher, and say, "Hey, can I follow you?" And the guy would say, "Well, come follow me a little bit." And they would ask questions and everything. Finally, when the man said, "Hey, I think this guy has the fire in his soul. He has that ability to imitate me, because that's the goal, is to imitate me," he'd say, "Come, follow me."
So that sounds like a rigorous screening process. What are some of the requirements for being a disciple, really?
Well, not only did you have to memorize, large portions of the Old Testament and everything, the biggest thing was, did they have the ability to imitate their rabbi, which was the goal. And so if they saw they had that fire, now most of them didn't have it, so they were sent home. But
it's a tough conversation.
It was, and so they would sit there and say, "I'm sorry, you just don't have it. You need to go back into the family business."
Okay, so it seems that in Scripture, the men who became Jesus' disciples did not approach Jesus. He kind of went to them.
Right, that's what makes this so exciting, because Jesus was sitting there and He went to them. They were already in the family business. In Matthew 4, they were fishing with their dads, saying they had been bypassed by all the other rabbis and they didn't have the stuff that it took. But Jesus saw something in them and He says, "I want you to come follow me." And no matter what our past is, that's what He's saying to us. Have you ever felt like someone didn't believe in you or didn't think you could do it, and then all of a sudden here comes the Son of God, Jesus Himself, saying, "I think you have what it takes."
So that flips the paradigm on its head.
Yes.
What is the goal of a disciple?
The ultimate goal is to imitate their rabbi, their teacher. And so for us as believers is to imitate Jesus Christ in everything, seeing as He sees, hears as He hears, speaking as He speaks, doing as He does. All that process, that's what the goal is.
So what does it mean to be a disciple today? I mean, we don't have people saying, "Come follow me," but what is the modern interpretation of all this?
It's really a mentoring process where we do imitate Christ in everything, seeing as He sees. And so it's a process where we take things like Scripture and learning how to read the Bible and study and memorize and meditate, how to pray like Christ prayed, and to share our faith with others. It's that process of being able to do that.
And really quickly, how does somebody know they've finished becoming a disciple?
They really never finish. It's always a work in progress. But when the mentor saw it, when the rabbi saw it in him, he'd say, "Go make disciples," which in Matthew 28, that's what they did. He said, "You go make disciples yourselves." And what was interesting was in Acts chapter 4, he said, they observed them having the confidence, untrained, but they were imitating Christ. They could see they had been with Christ.
Very big challenges. Robert Lutz, founder of Transformation Ministries, thank you for joining us for this edition of Faith Time.
Thank you for having me.
And News 5 this morning will continue after the break.